former Secretary of State Brian Kemp started the SAFE Commission to really look at what's the best technology going forward. And I was really pleased that they ended up at the same place I ended up, which is the same place where about 75% of all Georgians end up, and where 95% of all county election supervisors ended up. And that's the position that we want a ballot marking device, as opposed to a hand-marked paper ballot. It would be very similar to the DRE machines we have right now, the electronic voting, touchscreen voting we have right now. And as you look at your selections, you just press the screen and you're going to pick all your selections, and then you press that button. But this time it won't be to cast the ballot, it'll be to print the ballot. And then the ballot will be printed out, just like that 8.5 sheet you have there. And so, oh, great, Mary Smith for president, and Tom Jones for vice president, and the whole list. And you make sure that you pick the ones you wanted. You can look at that, and then you still have physical control over it, physical contact with it. You then go over to an optical scanner. And there, an electronic copy will be made of your ballot, and it'll be announced about, but they don't know it's your ballot. You just know it's your ballot. So I want to clarify that. And then it'll be counted, and then it drops into the ballot box. And so when elections are really close, you'll be able to do a physical recount. And so that's very important, because right now you can't do a physical recount. You press the button and it'll say, well, that's what the computer said, and you get the same numbers. So now you'll be able to do a physical recount. And perhaps even more important, though, is you'll now be able to do an audit. And our goal is to start being able to do risk-limiting audits. It's a very sophisticated audit procedure, but it gives you that high confidence level that we got it right. So when there's an election, and it's Bob versus Tom, Mary versus Sue, or whatever that combination can be, we want the winner to know that they truly did win, but also the loser knows, yeah, I really did lose. I thought I had it, No, but nice try, and come back and try again. And so you have that confidence, and then you as a voter says, oh, I thought we were going to win this one, or we did win this one. And so you won't have that consternation, that concern, or the belly aching that you could have after an election. The machines are 17 years old. So you can talk about this issue, you can talk about that issue. The machines, to the best of my knowledge, have never been hacked. People make that, it's more of a concern. What if they were? Well, I understand, I appreciate it. I don't want to minimize that concern. As Secretary of State, we worry about that on all different branches. We're in charge of corporations, securities, charities, our licensing board, and also the voter list. That has private confidential information. So I get cybersecurity. We understand how important that is. But going back to the voting machines, we already had Secretary of State Kemp already had started his SAFE Commission, and I was running on that. Other candidates were running on it needed to be updated, and we all talked about the different ideas we had about that, both as a Republican or on the Democrat side. So I think that was already out there. Then at the end of the day, we had the governor's race, and the governor's race was fairly close, was 50,000 vote difference, and then someone lost, and then someone just didn't want to accept the outcome of the election. Instead of accepting the outcome at the ballot box, what they want to do is litigate it and try to take it to the jury box. We definitely have to have it ready for the 2020 fall election, but we really would love to get it in place for the 2020 primary, because that's going to be a great run. Won't maybe has as many voters as we would have in the fall, and that really lets us work out any bugs we might have in our systems and training. So it's buying the machines, and then we also no one really talks about it, but we have to update our poll books. And when we update the poll book, the electronic poll books, that also is going to give us some efficiency. They've got a lot more improvements in the software that they offer now. It'll be quicker and allow us to actually process voters when they come in. So we don't have those lines. I don't want anyone to wait 2 hours, no. 1 hour, that's too long. We need to get it down to, it's 20 minutes, and I don't like waiting more than 20 minutes myself. And so we just have to try and move folks through those lines as fast as possible. So we'll put out the RFP, and then the committee will get that back, and then they'll go ahead and make that decision and make a recommendation and move that forward. And then we'll secure the machines, and then we have to get the machines, but then we want to reach out. So we want to come down to Muskogee County. We want to go to Harris County. We need to reach all 159 counties with training, so we can get the workers, trained on the new machines, your county election supervisors, so that they can figure out, really, well, the details are the new stuff about the system, so that we have a great election, process and a great election outcome for the voter, so that you enjoy voting. Say, that was really fun. That was so easy, because it's really important, I think, for all Georgians to enjoy the whole process of voting.